Namaskar. Today we are going to talk about the key features of long awaited and due new educational policy 2020 in regard to higher education. First point is holistic development. Government has given influence on holistic development, which includes skill development, which is very important, along with the vocational training to be given to the students. I suppose government has realized that only knowledge given through the books will not lead the future of youth in the country today. Second thing which I really liked the most about this policy is multiple entry and exit. There will be academic credit bank, and for some reason if student is not able to continue with his degree, for example student has taken admission in first year and after first year for some reason, for family reason or for some other reason, he is not able to carry on with his degree and he leaves after first year. So earlier what used to happen, his first year also used to go waste. But now there will be academic credit system and his first year credits will be kept there only. So that means if after 4 years, after 3 years, he comes back and he wants to do second year, he can continue with the second year, and every year he will be awarded with some certificate, diploma, advanced diploma and then degree. So this is a welcome step which I am finding. Then the next thing is multidisciplinary, going multidisciplinary. Today there is a need of multidisciplinary education. There should be no hardcore segmentation or differentiation between the subjects. So that means if a student is interested in physics and at the same time he is good at art also, so along with the physics he can go for fine arts also. So this is also one point which is very significant in this education policy. About the colleges, if we say that it is proposed that colleges will be given autonomy in the sense of conduct of examinations and issue of degree. So this is the point which is a point of concern, whatever I can think, that the colleges with limited infrastructure, with limited staff, and especially the colleges which are running in semi-urban areas and rural areas, whether they will be able to provide degrees, whether they will be able to conduct examination. So this autonomy, I don't know till what extent it will be given, because the detailed guidelines are yet to be given to the colleges regarding conduct of examinations and issuance of degrees. But this is one point of concern, and I would request all of you to please put in the comment section that what do you think, whether colleges would be able to do all these things, organize these things, coordinate these things. So this is one point. Another point is, if a person is sure, if a student is sure that he has to go for the research in future, that means if he is sure that after completion of post graduation he has to go to research, in that case it will be easier for him to enroll in PhD, because MPhil will not be compulsory. So after 3 years of graduation and 2 years of post graduation, or in some cases 4 years of degree which includes graduation and post graduation both, he will be able to enroll himself in PhD directly rather than going for MPhil first. And then one word they have given is glocal, the combination of local and global. So it is a glocal term which says that foreign universities will be invited, they will be welcomed in India to set up, have their own setup here. And in the same way, Indian institutes, Indian universities of good repute will also be encouraged to go outside and become global. So these are the basic key features of the of this education policy, new education policy in regard to higher education. And your comments are welcomed. Kindly go through the policy, and the detailed policy will be understood with the passage of some time, and do write some comments that what do you think, whether it will be useful for a particular segment, or what are the shortcomings you find in this policy. Thank you so much. Waiting for your comments.